So your topic this afternoon will be nematodes. So tatapusin na natin yung buong nematodes. Okay? So we are now done with your protozoa. You are now in helminthology. Okay? So helminths, so yung topic. So we have two phylums, your Nemma helminthis and your Platyhelminthes. Okay? Your nematodes and cestodes will be discussed during the final period. Okay? So your last topic for this second prelims will be nematodes or your nematoda, and they can be subclassified into two. Your Adenophorea and your Caesar model. Okay? For your Adenophorea, we only have three species. That is your Trichinella, Trichuris, and your Capillaria. The rest of your nematodes are under the subclass Caesarnidea. Okay? So lahat yan, i-discuss natin this afternoon. Okay? So a very short introduction regarding your nematodes. They are commonly known as your roundworms. And only few are parasitic to humans. Okay? Some of them are natural parasites to animals, but some of them can still cause disease to humans. Okay, so generally they are elongated and they have cylindrical bodies and they have separate sexes. Okay, walay, si male at si female. And the pathogenicity of roundworms may depend on the following. Number one is the size of the worm. Mas malaki, pwede mas malaki ang damage niya. Number of parasites, diba? Mas madami, there is an increased probability of the severity of infection. And some of them can stimulate the immune system. They can induce hypersensitivity reactions. So most of the nematodes, they inhabit the human intestinal tract. Some pass through other organs before becoming adults. Some of the species cannot complete its life cycle without undergoing yung tinatawag na natin na heart-lung cycle, such as your Ascaris. Okay? So kailangan mo na dumaan doon, and they can be more pathologic. Some have animal species as natural hosts, and they cannot reach maturity in the human body. So again, hindi nila napo-complete yung life cycle. Okay? So, ang nagko-cause ng disease are not the adults, but the larvae. Okay? But some of them, again, may have more severe pathologic results pag larva yung nagko-cause ng disease. Now, for the life cycle, we can have two types of life cycle, direct and indirect. When we say direct, you do not need an intermediate host. Pag indirect, you need an intermediate host for it to complete the life cycle. And the general pattern of the life cycle of nematodes will be egg, larva, adult. Okay? So yan yung general pattern. And most of them have 4 larval transformation in your L3 and L4. For the third and fourth transformation can be found in the definitive host. Okay, for the integument or the skin of your roundworms, they are non-nucleated and they are secreted by the hypodermis. In the picture, that is the gray one, the dark color. That is your hypodermis. Okay, so meron din siyang somatic muscles with longitudinal fibers. They do not have circular muscle fibers. And the body cavity, sometimes this is called your pseudocele, and all of the internal organs, okay, so these are your internal organs, they are suspended within your pseudocele. Okay? So digestive tract, so your nematode has a complete digestive tract. Okay? So starting from the mouth, ending in your cloaca. Okay, in your cloaca, this is where the rectum opens, and also for males, this is where your sperm cells are discharged. So meron din siyang excretory system. They also have a nervous system. Okay? And remember, walang circulatory and respiratory structures, cinematode. Okay, so in general to ha, this is not always true. Pag male, usually it is smaller or shorter compared to the female. Pag male, they usually have a curved posterior end. Okay, whereas in female, they have a straight posterior end. Okay, although that is not always true. Okay, so some of them are oviparous, meaning they lay eggs. Some of them are larviparous. Hindi sila naglilay ng egg, but instead they lay larva directly. Okay? So the eggs are discharged usually in the intestinal tract of humans. Some are partially or some are fully developed. But most of the time, eggs are discharged partially developed. Okay? And embryonization occurs in the soil. Okay? So most of the time, nag-embryonate sila sa soil once they are discharged. So these are the different portal of entries, pwedeng oral, such as your ascaris, pwedeng through inhalation, nasal route, your enterobius orbicularis, through skin penetration like your hookworms, and pwede din through insect bites, okay, your filarial worms. Now let's go to your adenophorae. Diba? Sabi natin we only have three. The first is your trichuris trichiura. Okay, trichuris trichiura, morphologically it has a narrower anterior 3/5 compared to the posterior end. So para siyang whip, latigo. Okay, kaya ang common name niya is your whip worm. Habitat is the human cecum, and usually they often coexist with Ascaris lubricoides. Okay? So this is male, di ba? Sabi natin, curved posterior ends. Okay? So mas makapal ang posterior end compared to your anterior portion, di ba? It is narrower. Okay? And at the very end ng posterior end, you can see your spicule. Okay? Your spicule. That is covered with a sheath. So tatandaan, trichuris trichiura, the spicule, it is covered with a sheath. So this is your female, the same. Diba? Narrower anterior end compared to the posterior end. Straight posterior end. Okay? So ito yung picture, male and female. Now, for the egg, okay, it is football or barrel shape. And that is the diagnostic feature. Marami nagkakamali dyan. Okay? It is not the bipolar mucus plug. Hindi siya ang diagnostic feature. Okay? So again, diagnostic feature is its shape. Okay? Football or barrel shape. Okay? What is the infective stage? Trichuris trichiura. Infective stage. Embryonated egg, di ba? From contaminated food or beverage. Okay, so mag-ingest ni human. The eggs will hatch into your small intestine, magiging adults. Si larva. Okay, it will now go to the, ano bang habitat niya? The cecum, the large intestine. Okay, they will populate. Female will lay eggs. The eggs will be evacuated along the feces. So this is an example of a direct life cycle. You do not need an intermediate host. Okay? So clinical picture will depend on the following: intensity of the infection. Of course, mas madaming parasite, more severe symptoms. Duration, di ba? Pag chronic na, meron na tayong mga chronic symptoms. And the age and the nutrition of the host. So what will happen? The anterior part of your tricuris will be embedded in the walls of the cecum, and the posterior portion will be free in the lumen. And there will be no significant histologic changes. Okay? And in cases of mild to moderate infection, especially in healthy individuals, usually they are asymptomatic. Okay? So it can have mechanical and allergic manifestation. For example, they mechanically irritate the nerve plexus in the intestinal wall. So what will happen? There will be relaxation of your anal sphincter, so they can cause rectal prolapse. Okay, so they can cause rectal prolapse. In children, the manifestation usually chronic diarrhea. Okay, so magkakaroon ng chronic dysentery, abdominal cramps, severe rectal tenesmus. And in cases of chronic infections, pwede tayo magkaroon ng hypochromic anemia. Again, due to prolonged massive infection. Okay? So meron tayong anemia, saan ang gagaling ang blood loss? The blood loss is coming from the friable mucosa. So nasusugat siya. Doon nag-bleed. It is not because of the amount of blood that is sucked by the parasite. Okay? So how do you diagnose? What will you look for? What will you request? Patient, you are suspecting having a tricural infection. Ano? Fecalysis, your direct fecal smear, you look for the egg. Okay? Ang diagnostic feature ng egg, the shape. Okay. For treatment, you can give bebendazole. And the following are preventive measures. Okay? The next member of your adenophorea will be your Trichinella spiralis. Common name is your trichinella. Okay? So male, female, usually smaller compared to the female. Okay? Posterior part, usually it is curved, and this time at the very posterior portion, you have your conical papillae. Okay? For female, it is larger, and the diagnostic feature is its uterus. Okay, yung uterus niya, it is filled with semi-coiled larva. Okay, so that is the diagnostic feature. Okay, the gravid uterus that is filled with semi-coiled larva. Okay, meron bang siyang egg? Meron bang egg? Si Trichinella. Wala siyang egg, di ba? It is larviparous. It lays larva. Okay? So this is the life cycle. What is the infective stage? Infective stage. The larva. Di ba larva? Saan makikita si larva? Paano ma-ingest ni humans? It is usually in the muscle of pork. Example, di ba? So, makain ka ng raw pork. Okay? Or undercooked pork. Okay? Nadadigest si pork, the larva will be released. Okay? So, pag na-release si larva, they will become adults. Tama? Magko-copulate, mabubuntis si female. Anong i-release ni female? Larva. The larva will be released in the intestines. Saan pupunta si larva? It will penetrate the intestinal wall. It will go to the circulation. Saan pupunta siya? Sa muscles. Sa muscles, they will encyst. What will happen to that larva? Sa humans. Magiging adult ba sila? Will they become adult in the humans? Sa muscle fibers ng humans? Yes or no? Magiging adult ba sila? It will not. Diba? So, pag nasa humans na, this is the endpoint for Trichinella spinatus. Okay? Unless kakainin mo yung human. Okay? Hindi naman tayo kumakain ng human. So, anong mangyayari kay larva? They will eventually die. Diba? Mamamatay sila. Okay, so pathology. There will be localized inflammation and necrosis of muscle tissue that is involved. And usually the muscles involved are the ones that are poor in glycogen, such as your diaphragm and intercostal muscles. Okay, they can present with toxemia. Bakit tayo nagtotoxemia? Saan galing? Sa tingin nyo, saan galing yung toxemia? Nag-release ba ng toxins sa trichinella? Hindi, di ba? O saan galing yung toxins? Bakit nagkaka-toxemia yung patients? Dahil saan? Ha? Bakit nagkaka-toxemia? Bakit? Saan galing? Distraction? Ano kayo kung may distraction? Ano yung ba na-destroy? Yung tissues ba? Yung larva, di ba? Namamatay yung larva. Di ba? So, yung kanyang mga waste products. Okay? Yun yung nagiging nagkukos ng toxemia. Okay? And of course, pseudo-hypertrophy. What do you mean by pseudo-hypertrophy? Pseudo, di ba? False. Hypertrophy, enlargement. Okay? So, ano yung lumalaki? Muscles. Pero hindi siya lumalaki. Para lang siyang malaki. Okay? Because of the encysted larva within your muscle fibers. Okay? Alright, so these are the 4 stages, di ba? The first stage will be invasion. So si larva, they will penetrate the intestinal walls. So ang presentation, epigastric pain, nausea, and vomiting. Okay? So nasa circulation si larva. What can be the manifestations? You can have fever, myalgia, edema, depende kung nasa ang location. And once they reach the muscles, they will encyst. Okay, so encystation, there will be muscle pains and fever, and eventually mamamatay si larva. So you have your tissue repair and recovery. So dito na pwedeng magkaroon ng toxemia si patient. Okay? So diagnosis, you have to do muscle biopsy. You look for the encysted larva. For treatment, you can give the following anti-helmintic drug. You can also give your ACTH. This is just to inhibit the severity. So this protects the myocardium and the CNS. Okay, and last among your adenophoria will be your Capillaria philippinensis. This was discovered here in the Philippines in 1963. The presentation was a malabsorption syndrome. Locally, it is known as your Pudok disease. Okay, so this is your male. Okay, so anong hahanapin natin? Yung sheath. Meron din siyang sheath sa posterior portion. Meron din siyang spicule. Diba? But this time, the spicule is not covered with the sheath. Okay, the spicule is outside the sheath. Okay, si trichuris, the spicule is within the sheath. Capillaria, the spicule is outside the sheath. So this is the female Capillaria. Diagnostic feature, the same with Trichinella, the gravid uterus. But this time, it is filled with eggs. Okay, so the uterus are filled with eggs. Okay, so this is just a picture Now, for the egg, what is the diagnostic feature? Anong diagnostic feature? It is not the shape. Okay? Although meron siya constriction sa middle part. Diba? Kaya siya, description, peanut shape. Okay? Meron din siya bilateral flattened mucus plug. So, sino yung diagnostic?
Mucus plug.
None of the above. The diagnostic feature is the wall. Okay? The thin wall. Okay? I explain sa inyo sa laboratory. Kailan may laboratory mo? Friday pa. Isang section.
Next week.
Kanina. O kanina. Yun naman pala eh. Nag-practice lang kayo? Sige na nga. For the epidemiology, man is only naturally infected and it is transmitted by eating raw fish. Okay, raw fish, specifically they are locally known as your bagsang, bagsit, and your birut. Diba? Usually yung kinikilaw. Diba? Gusto ko sa Ilocos region. Okay, and the infective stage is the infective larva that can be found in the fish intestine. Okay? Again, what is the infective stage? Larva, specifically the L3, okay, inside the intestine of the fish. Kakainin ni humans. Okay? It will become adults in the small intestine. Adults will copulate. Female will lay eggs. Eggs will be deposited. Okay, in the water, kakainin ni fish si egg. Okay, so this time, kailangan mo na intermediate host to complete its life cycle. So this is an example of an indirect life cycle. Okay, so they invade the small intestines, specifically the jejunum, and there will be derangement of intestinal function leading to malabsorption. Okay? So there will be malabsorption of fluids, electrolytes, and proteins. Okay? So lahat yan pwedeng maapektuhan. So clinically, they will present as intestinal malabsorption. So you will have chronic diarrhea, abdominal pain, rapid weight loss. Bakit ka nagkaka-rapid weight loss? Meron kang malabsorption, di ba? Yung proteins, hindi mo ma-absorb. So, pwede ka din magkaroon ng muscle wasting, abdominal distension, edema. And then may occur, usually 2 weeks to 2 months, secondary to the following. Pwede kang mag-pneumonia, heart failure, hypokalemia, and cerebral edema. Bakit tayo mag-heart failure? Malabsorption lang, nag-heart failure ka na. Bakit? Anong cause ng heart failure? Anong cause? Basic physiology. Bakit ka magkaka-heart failure? Kung meron ka capillaria. Hindi lang puro memorize ha, dapat alam nyo kung bakit. Bakit tayo nagkaka-heart failure? Actually, nandiyan na yung sagot. Anong nagkukos ng heart failure? Nandiyan na yung sagot, babasahin nyo lang. O electrolytes. Anong electrolyte? Sodium, potassium, di ba yan? O hypo, hypokalemia, di ba? You can have heart failure pag meron ka hypokalemia. Cerebral edema. Ano yung nagkukos? Decrease in ano yun? Narinig ko na. Protein, di ba? O pwede kang magkaroon ng edema. Diagnostic stage. What will you look for? Obviously, you will request for fecalysis, di ba? Direct fecal smear. So, what will you look for? Ano hahanapin mo? Diagnostic stage. You look for the adult, the eggs, and the larva. Okay? But usually, we look for the eggs. Diba? Mas madaling i-identify. Treatment, you can give mebendazole, but take note, you give it for 20 to 30 days. Okay, tapos na tayo sa adenophorea. Let's go now to your Caesarnentea, starting with the most common helminth, your Ascaris lubricoides. Again, the most cosmopolitan and the most common human helminth. Okay, they are also known or commonly known as your giant intestinal roundworm. Okay, they have cylindrical bodies. Usually, they are tapered on both ends. They are flesh-colored, especially if they are fresh. Lahat ba kayo nakakita na niyan? Bata kayo, di ba kayo pinurga? Mga magulang ninyo? Diba? So, ganyan yung makikita ninyo. Oh, so, morphology, again, di ba? Males, shorter compared to females. Curved posterior end. Female, bigger, longer. Straight posterior ends. Okay? Oh, so, egg. Yan ang nakakalito sa egg. Ha? Madami pwedeng itsura ng eggs ni Ascaris lubricoides. The first is your fertilized egg. This is also known as your corticated. Okay, fertilized or corticated egg. It is broadly ovoid. Okay, and the outermost layer has your mammillated albuminoid layer. Okay, itong albuminoid layer, this gives the Ascaris egg its color. Okay, parang brownish to golden, yellowish to golden brown in color. Okay, again, the albuminoid layer gives its color. The next type will be your fertilized, but this time it is decorticated. Okay, decorticated, fertilized, broadly ovoid. What's the difference? Wala kang albuminoid layer, meaning anong color? The decorticated, it is colorless. Okay? And the next egg will be your unfertilized. Diba? Unfertilized. This time it is elongated. Okay? So, pwedeng meron, pwedeng walang mammillated or albuminoid layer. Okay? So, itong tatlo, fertilized, decorticated, fertilized egg, unfertilized, sino dyan ang pwede natin makita sa direct fecal smear? Sino pwedeng makita sa direct fecal smear? Corticoid. Sino nagsabing decorticated? Wala. Fertilized, corticated. May tumaas ng kamay. Isa lang. Unfertilized. Pwede ba tayong makakita sa direct fecal smear? Saan ba nagagaling yung specimen? Sa intestinal tract ng humans, di ba? Yung infection. Oh. So, pwede bang magka-unfertilized? Egg, yes. Pwede ba? Saan ba nagagaling yung egg? Sa female, tama? Di ba male and female will copulate? The eggs will be released. Di ba? O pag i-release, Anong klaseng egg yun? Fertilized or unfertilized? Fertilized, di ba? O pwede ba tayong magka-unfertilized egg sa direct fecal smear? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. That's correct. Why? How? O, sabi ninyo, di ba? Kayo nagsabi. Male, female will copulate, it will release fertilized egg, di ba? O, kayo din nagsabi, pwedeng magkaroon ka ng unfertilized egg in your specimen. How? Paano kung magkakaroon ng unfertilized egg? In a direct fecal smear. How? Wala. Hindi ko sasabihin. Hanapin niyo yung sagot. Ha? Okay, so yan yung pwedeng egg ni Ascaris, fertilized, corticated, fertilized, decorticated, unfertilized, and embryonated. O embryonated, can we see embryonated egg in direct fecal smear? Yes or no? Embryonated. Ha? Balikan nyo yung life cycle. Saan nag-embryonate ang Ascaris egg? Sa soil. Diba? Oh, so, can you see embryonated egg in direct fecal smear? No, dapat. But sometimes, nakakakita tayo. Okay? Pero pag tinanong kayo, anong sagot? Dapat hindi. You should not see embryonated egg in direct fecal smear. Okay? O, alam nyo na yung sagot? Kung bakit tayo nagkaka-unfertilized egg? Hindi pa rin. O, life cycle. Infective stage. Anong infective stage? Embryonated egg. Okay, so contaminated food and drinks. What will happen to the egg? It will release its larva. Okay, what will happen to the larva? Magiging adult ba sila? Magiging adult si larva? Ha? Oh, yes or no? Magiging adult? No. Diba? Sabi natin, kailangan pa niyang mag-pass through the heart-lung phase for it to complete its life cycle. So si larva, hindi siya magiging adult. Okay, instead, it will penetrate your intestinal mucosa, it will go to the circulation, it will pass your heart-lung phase. Kung nasa lungs na siya, nasa alveoli, aakyat siya, anong dulo noon? Alveoli, bronchus, anong dulo? Mga natin na. Mabaliktad. Saan lalabas? Yung larva. Alveoli. Diba? Oh, sa bronchus, saan sila lalabas? Your trachea. Okay? Eventually, what will happen to those larvae? They will be swallowed. Diba? So, pag na-swallow, nasaan na sila? Nasa intestine. Magiging adults na ba sila? Yes, pwede na silang maging adults. Okay? Pag naging adults, male and female will copulate. Male females will lay eggs. The eggs will be evacuated. Okay? Pupunta sa soil where they will embryoate. Okay? So, pathogenic effects, pwede due to the immune reactions of the host, pwede the mechanical effects of the worms, and of course, depende din sa host's nutrition. If it is, the host is malnourished or immunocompromised, a single worm can cause severe symptoms. Okay? So, since nagmamigrate si larva, sabi natin kanina, pwedeng mag-cause ng disease si larva. Diba? So during the stage of larval migration, so the passage of larva through the liver and lungs will provoke no remarkable pathologic symptoms unless they are events. Okay, so pag konti lang sila, pwedeng walang symptoms yung pasyente. Okay, there will be eosinophilic infiltration and granuloma formation around the path of the migrating larva. Okay, so there will be fibrosis of your periportal or interlobular spaces. So kung saan nagmamigrate or kung saan dumadaan si larva. Okay? So eventually, makakapunta na siya or makakarating na siya sa lungs. This time, it is called your Ascaris pneumonitis. Okay? They can have severe pulmonary symptoms. Usually, the patient will have dyspnea, dry productive cough. Okay? And there will be marked eosinophilia. Okay? This is called your Loeffler's syndrome. Okay? And during Ascaris pneumonitis, the sputum of the patient will have abundant eosinophils and their charcoal-laden crystals. Okay? So during the lung phase, okay, this is where your allergic manifestation occurs. Okay? Pag nasa lungs siya. Okay, the patient may have bronchospasms and pulmonary infiltrates. Pwede din siyang mag-manifest sa skin. You can have urticarial reactions. Okay, and eventually, pupunta na siya sa intestines. This time, the ones that are causing the disease are the adult worms. So, hindi na si larva. Okay? So, it may be well tolerated unless infection is heavy or the intake of nutrients of the host is inadequate or they are malnourished. Sabi natin kanina, if you are malnourished or immunocompromised, a single worm can cause a serious disease. Okay? So yan, pag children, they may present with intermittent colicky cramps, they will have loss of appetite, and usually they will appear with a protruding abdomen. Okay, this is described as your pot belly appearance. Okay, so imagine marami kang adult worm sa intestines. Okay? So si adult worm, ayaw niya na i-disturbo siya. Okay? So when they are disturbed, for example, that patient develop fever. Okay? So, magre-react si worms. So, pwedeng dalawa ang reaction niya. The first reaction is they will congregate. Magsasama-sama sila. Okay? So, they will congregate in a closely packed mass causing bowel obstruction or mechanical release. This is called your Ascaris colus or your worms. Okay? So ayaw nilang mag-congregate, maghihiwa-hiwalay sila. They will migrate outward in both directions. Okay? What do you mean by both directions? Anong direction yun? Saan pupunta? Saan? Hindi tinuturo mo. Ha? So, ano yan? So, they will go either saan ba pupuntahan niya? Upwards or downwards? Yun na naman ang pwede niyang puntahan, di ba? So, if they will migrate upward, okay, so they can cause or obstruct biliary or the pancreatic duct. Pwede siyang makapunta sa liver, causing your Ascaris liver abscess. It can also cause emboli, di ba? Sa hepatic venous channels. Okay, hindi siya nakontento, mas gusto niya mas mataas. Okay, it can even reach your upper respiratory tract. So, pwedeng lumabas siya sa ilong, sa nasopharynx. It can enter your lacrimal duct and your eustachian tube. Okay? It can also cause respiratory obstruction. If it obstructs the trachea. Remember, these are adult worms. Hindi na ito larva. Okay? O ayaw niya sa taas, gusto niya sa baba. Okay? So it can cause obstructive appendicitis. Okay? It can perforate the intestinal walls, causing your peritonitis. And it can even reach the kidneys via fistulas formed after intestinal perforations. Okay? So si Ascaris, pwedeng madaming disease o disease. Okay? To a simple abdominal pain, it can be severe as intestinal perforation. Okay? Diagnosis. Ano pwede mong i-request? And what will you look for? Fecalysis. Anong hahanapin mo? Ano pa? Pwede mong i-request? Sputum. Anong hahanapin mo sa sputum? The larva. Diba? You can request for the sputum or gastric washing. You look for the larva. Okay? But the most simplest and the most effective way is doing your fecalysis. Okay? You look for your egg. You can also request for imaging studies such as your abdominal x-ray. Okay? So, pag nakakita kang tramway sign, so parang railroad track, so probable Ascaris infection, you can request for a barium swallow. Do you have any idea kung ano yung barium swallow? Barium swallow. Barium, di ba? Pag-iinumin ng barium si patient. And barium, nakikita siya sa x-ray. So what will happen, kung meron siyang Ascaris sa intestine, the barium will coat the adult Ascaris. Kung mag-x-ray ka, makikita mo yung outline ng Ascaris. Ang itsura niya para siyang string. Okay? So that is called your string sign. Okay? But usually these two is not requested. Okay? Pwede na ang simple fecalysis. Okay? And you can give the following anti-helminthic drugs. So, nasaan na yung attendance? Okay na. Isa, nasaan? Okay, so these are the preventive measures. Let's continue with your hookworms. You have two genus, your Necator and your Ancylostoma. Your Necator americanus and your Ancylostoma duodenale are considered to be human hookworms. So nagiging adult sila sa humans, whereas the others are your non-human hookworms. They cannot become adult in the human body, but they can produce disease. This is called your cutaneous larva migrans. Okay, common name ni Necator, New World hookworm, Ancylostoma oldworm. Disease, iba-iba lang yung nomenclature, but the presentation is the same. Pareho lang. Okay? Habitat, Necator, duodenum and jejunum, Ancylostoma, jejunum and your ileum. The preferred route, pag Necator, ang preferred route is percutaneous. Remember, preferred route. Okay? Pwede din siya oral. Okay? Pero ang preferred ni Necator, percutaneous. Si Ancylostoma, the preferred route is oral. Okay? So how do you differentiate? Adult, morphologically, Necator, S-shape, Ancylostoma, C-shape. Okay? So pwede mo din i-magnify yung kanyang buccal capsule. You can differentiate the two. This is the buccal capsule of your Necator americanus. Anong tawag natin dito? Sino mga medtech? Anong tawag dyan? Your plates. Your Anong plate? Semi?
Ito na.
Semi-lunar cutting plates. Diba? O ito, ang tawag natin sa ancylostoma. Huwag nyo pahirapan yung sarili. Ano siya? Para siyang teeth. Teeth. Diba? O yun lang yun. Ancylostoma. Usually, 2 sets. Diba? You have a larger and a smaller. O, paano pa natin siya madi-differentiate? Sino yung mga medtech dito? Aside from the buccal capsule. Anong tawag natin dyan? Copulatory bursa. How do we differentiate? Anong titingnan natin? Unang titingnan, spicule. Tama? Tatandaan? Ancylostoma duodenale, the spicules are separated. Okay, wala. Tama? Okay. Necator americanus, the spicules are fused. Magkadikit. Ha? Ancylostoma spicules are separated. Necator, the spicules are fused. Okay. Ano pang titingnan? The dorsal ray. Tandaan, ha? Ancylostoma, the dorsal ray is ito. 1, 2, 3. It is tripartite. Okay? Necator americanus, the dorsal ray, 1, 2, it is bipartite. Okay? Tripartite, bipartite. Okay. So, meron din siya rhabditiform, form of larva, filariform larva. Okay. Difference. Rhabditiform, open mouth, filariform, closed mouth. Okay? Both of them has tapered or pointed tail. Okay. Sino to? Necator or ancylostoma? Ha? Ancylostoma? Ano siya? Pareho lang. Walang pinagkaiba ang rhabditiform at filariform ni Necator and ancylostoma. Sa practical exam, anong isasagot ninyo? Pinakita, yan. Mali. Anong isasagot? Ha? Hookworm bang isasagot ninyo? O ano bang instructions natin? O paulit-ulit na naman. Diba? Write the genus and species. O pag yan, nakita, isa lang dyan, anong isasagot? Necator americanus or ancylostoma duodenale. Kung gusto nyo isulat pareho, okay lang. Okay. Diba? It is elongated with transparent shell and usually they are in a 2 to 8 cell stage of development called your morula. Nasa loob. Okay? Necator, ancylostoma, may difference ba? Wala. Again, sa practical exam, anong isusulat? Necator americanus or ancylostoma duodenale. Walang magsusulat ng hookworm. Okay? So, manner of transmission, any of the following. Pwedeng through penetration of the skin by your filariform larva, ingestion by your filariform larva, auto-infection, and through the mammary glands via the breast milk. Okay, infective stage. Infective stage. Infective stage. Filariform larva. For example, nag-penetrate sa skin. What will happen to that larva? It will? Saan siya pupunta? Ha? O, sa circulation. After that, saan pupunta? It will pass through the heart-lung phase. Ganun din. Okay? After that, pupunta na siya sa intestine, magiging adult na siya. Male, female will copulate, eggs will be evacuated. Okay? So the effect for the pathogenesis, the effects can be caused by both the adult and your larva. Okay? And the degree of pathology depends on the number of worm, duration of infection, and the host's mutation. Okay? So you can have your cutaneous phase. Okay? So after skin penetration, the larva will enter, causing a dermatitis. This is known as your round itch lesion, usually presenting with pain and itching of the skin. And the usual portal of entry will be the toe webs, the skin of the feet, and lower legs. Diba? Siya yung may contact sa soil. Okay? The skin lesion may be transient. Diba? Nagmamigrate siya. So eventually, papasok din siya sa circulation. But some may develop secondary bacterial infections. So nasa lungs na siya. And the migrating larva will cause temporary leukocytosis. This can result to symptoms of pneumonitis. Okay? And eventually, pupunta na siya sa intestine. Pag-intestine, the one that causing the disease are the adult worms, which are attached to the walls of the intestine. They will irritate the intestines, causing hyperperistalsis, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and bloody mucoid stools, and in chronic cases, it can cause anemia. For diagnosis, again, a very simple fecalysis or direct fecal smear. We usually look for the egg, but you can also look for the larval forms. Okay? So, meron tayong ginagawa na technique or culture technique that is called your Harada-Mora technique. So, anong ginagawa? You take a stool specimen, you put it in a filter paper. Diba? Kung meron kang hookworm infection, anong nasa stool? Anong nasa stool? Yung egg, diba? So, yung filter paper containing the stool of the patient, you put it in a test tube with water at the bottom. Okay? You wait for a few days. What will happen to the egg? It will hatch. Diba? Releasing the larva. Si larva pupunta sa water. Then you get water sample. You observe it under the microscope. You look for larva. Okay? Okay, next. As we have said earlier, meron tayong mga non-human hookworms. Diba? They cannot become adults inside the humans, but they can cause disease. So the one that causing the disease are the larva. This disease is called your cutaneous larva migrans or your creeping eruptions. This is due to migration of larvae that usually do not infect man. Okay, so it will present with a form of dermatitis. Okay, and the most common species involved is your Ancylostoma brasiliensis. Okay, so the filariform of your non-human hookworms cannot pass through the thickness of the human skin. So, hindi sila magiging adults. Okay, they cannot complete their life cycle. Okay? So, usually, ito yung progression ng disease. Okay? And eventually, what will happen to the larva? Mamamatay na siya, di ba? It cannot become adults. Okay? O, how do you diagnose? Ano natin i-diagnose? Cutaneous larva migrans. Diba? Clinical, diba? Usually clinical, the appearance of the lesions. And if you like, you can take fluid aspirate coming from the lesion and you look for the larva. Okay, so treatment, you can give your thiabendazole. Okay, next is your Strongyloides stercoralis. Common name is your threadworm. The disease is your Cochin China diarrhea. Okay, so for strongyloides in the laboratory, what is important is you should differentiate the rhabditiform and the filariform larva of strongyloides from hookworm. Okay? So yun ang importante, ha? So sa laboratory nyo nag-discuss yung difference or paano ma-differentiate si strongyloides kay hookworm. Okay? So meron lang tayong specimen sa strongyloides is the larva. Okay? So let's go directly to the life cycle. What is the infective stage? Anong infective stage ng strongyloides? Ito. Diba? Your filariform larva. Through, again, skin penetration. Okay? What will happen to your filariform larva? Ano mangyayari? Penetrate ng skin, it will go to the circulation. Once in the circulation, it will pass through the heart-lung phase. Eventually, mapupunta siya sa intestine. In the intestine, the larva will become adults. Male and female will copulate. The female will lay eggs. What will happen to the eggs? Anong mangyayari sa eggs? The strongyloides. Mapapass through ba along with the feces? Pwede? Anong mangyayari sa egg? Oh, it will hatch inside the intestine. Mag-hatch siya sa intestine. Kaya tayo hindi nakakakita ng strongyloides egg in direct fecal smear. Anong pwede natin makita sa direct fecal smear? The larva, rhabditiform larva. Diba? So, pwede siyang mag-pass through sa feces, pupunta sa environment, they will become free-living parasites. Okay? Unless ma-infect niya si man. Okay. Si rhabditiform, pag hindi na-evacuate, what will happen? It will mature. It will become your filariform larva inside the intestine. That filariform larva will penetrate your intestinal mucosa. That is called your auto-infection. Okay? So, pwede kang magkaroon ng auto-infection. Diba? Since dumaan siya sa heart-lung phase, pwede ka rin magkaroon ng cutaneous, lung, and intestinal stage of the disease. For cutaneous, okay, you will also have dermatitis. Okay, it is more progressive and extensive compared to hookworm. You call this your larva cases. Okay, so sa lungs, pwede ka rin magka-pneumonitis. Presentation similar to your ascariasis, and this is another cause of your Loeffler's syndrome. Okay, for the intestinal stage, they are embedded in the duodenum. The patients will have burning, dull or sharp, non-radiating epigastric pain. There will be nausea, vomiting, and alternating episodes of diarrhea and constipation. Okay? Oh, diagnosis. What will you request? What will you look for? Anong i-request? Fecalysis. Anong hahanapin? Larva. Diba? Sabi natin, hindi tayo nakakakita ng egg. You look for the filariform or rhabditiform larva. You can also perform your Harada Mora technique. Okay? You can use the following antihelminthic drugs to treat strongyloides. Next, Enterobius vermicularis, also known as your pitworm. Sitworm, sometimes called your society worm, because they are prevalent in congested living conditions. This is the adult female. Diagnostic feature is your prominent bulb-like esophagus. Female, straight posterior end. Male, curved posterior end. At the very end, you have your stichium. But they have the same diagnostic feature, your bulb-like esophagus. And, madaling i-identify, it is elongated. One side is flat, the other is convex. So, D shape. Okay, and inside you have a prominent larva. Okay, meron na siyang prominent larva. Transmission, pwedeng inhalation, diba? Nasal route, pwedeng direct transfer of eggs. Okay, so kakamutin si perianal area, isusubo yung fingers. Okay, that is auto-infection. Okay, pwede din through promiscuous sexual practice. Ha? Hindi ko na i-explain kung paano. Okay? Infective stage. Infective stage, okay, diba? Pwedeng inhalation, pwedeng ingestion. Okay? So, malilili si larva. Saan pupunta si larva? Sa colon. Sa colon. Magiging adult. Okay? Male and female will copulate. The female will lay eggs. Okay? Saan na ngayon maglilay ng eggs si female? Sa colon ba? Saan siya pupunta? Sa perianal region. So the females will migrate going to the perianal region or sa anus where they will lay their eggs. Okay, so the one causing the pathology is the migrating female during oviposition. Okay, and usually it occurs during the night. So makati yun. You call that your nocturnal pruritus ani. Okay? So your migrating female, pwedeng mawala. It can enter your vagina, causing vaginitis. Okay? So how do we diagnose? Okay, you perform your Scotch tape or your Graham Scotch tape swab technique. So paano ginagawa yun? You have your glass slide. Lalagyan mo ng Scotch tape. Baliktad. The sticky part is facing outwards. Okay? Then you collect the sample. Okay? So, ididikit mo lang siya sa perianal region ng pasyente. Okay? After that, ibabalik mo ngayon sa Scotch tape. Ididikit mo sa slide. Okay? Then you observe under the microscope kung merong enterobius egg. Okay? Next, kung meron tayong cutaneous larva migrans, meron tayong visceral larva migrans, also known as your human toxocariasis. The most common etiologic agent will be your Toxocara species, your Toxocara canis, and your Toxocara cati. Okay? So they are dog and cat ascarids. Humans are infected with the larval forms, not the adult worm. So again, hindi sila nagiging adult sa human. So how do we differentiate canis from cati? You have to look or you have to magnify the cervical alley. Okay, the cervical alley of your Toxocara canis is ano to? Long and narrow. Okay, long and narrow. Si cati, the cervical alley is broad and short. Okay? So yung egg, pwede din natin ma-differentiate. For canis, it is thick and coarsely pitted. Si cati, it is thin and it is finely pitted. Okay? O, ano yan? Canis or cati? Canis or cati? Ha? Ma-identify nyo ba? Hindi. Bakit? So kailangan natin magnify, kailangan natin makita yung cervical alley. This is knees, di ba? Long. Okay. This is cati, short and broad. Okay. Egg. Ano to? Canis. Bakit? Okay. Thick eggshell, coarsely pitted. Thin eggshell, finely pitted. Okay, so the infective stage is your embryonated egg coming from contaminated food and drinks. The eggs will hatch inside the small intestine. The larva will penetrate the intestinal wall. It will go to your mesenteric venules. The larva will reach different sites through blood circulation. The most common site is your liver. Okay, pwede pumunta sa eyes, causing your ocular larva migrants. Okay? So migration of larva causes eosinophilic inflammation. It can cause granuloma formation. Okay? And you have your triad of your visceral larva migrants. That is a marked eosinophilia, hepatomegaly, di ba yun yung most common site, and hyperglobulinemia. Okay? So diagnosis, pwede kang mag-tissue biopsy. You look for the larva. Okay, treatment, you can give thiabendazole. For the inflammation, you can give corticosteroid. Okay? So the last two are not so important. Okay? So, basahin nyo na lang siya sa manual. Okay? Because we will discuss further the filarial worms. Okay? Filarial worms. Okay. Also known as your blood and tissue inhabiting nematodes. Okay? So the adult filarial worms live in body tissues and cavities of vertebrates, including man. Okay? And they are larviparous, meaning they lay your larva, specifically known as your microfilaria. Okay? So microfilaria, and you need an insect vector for its transmission. Okay, so your adult female in tissues will lay larva, again, called your microfilaria. Okay, and they are classified into two. Your sheathted filarial worms and your unsheathted filarial worms. When we say sheathted, the microfilaria is laid having your egg membrane. So meron pa siyang sheath. Okay? Whereas your unsheathed filarial worms, the egg membrane is lost during birth. Okay? And in the laboratory, we will only show you the sheathed filaria. Yan lang ang meron kaming specimen. That is your Butyreria bancrofti, your Brugia malayi, and your Loa rola. Okay? So you have to differentiate the three. So adult females, so inhabiting the tissues, the lymph vessels or body cavities, lay your microfilaria, which will enter the blood and the lymphatic vessels. Okay, so nag-release na microfilaria. What will happen? So yung microfilaria, it can be sucked by the insect. So pag kinagat ka, okay, pwedeng masak ng insect si microfilaria. Okay? So it is passed through the gut wall and into the hemosyl of the insect. Once it mature, pag naging L3 na siya, pupunta na siya sa vector's mouth. Ngayon, pag kinagat ka ng insect, okay? So matatransfer si L3 kay humans. When the insect takes a blood meal, the L3 is injected to man. So what is the infective stage to the insect vector? insect vector. Infective stage, your microfilaria. Infective stage to man, infective stage to man, your L3. Okay? O L3. So si L3 will migrate and it will invade specific habitat or area of predilection. Each species will have different area of predilection. Okay? Ibang species, dito siya pupunta. Itong species, dito siya pupunta. Okay? So, iba-iba. So the mature worms will copulate and the female will produce or lay your microfilaria which are now discharged into the circulation. Thus, the diagnostic stage is your microfilaria in the blood. Okay? Microfilaria in the blood. Okay, so yan lang yung diniscuss natin. Now, let's go to Wuchereria bancrofti. Okay, so again, sheeted microfilaria can be found in the peripheral blood. It has a nocturnal periodicity. What do we mean nocturnal periodicity? The female will lay its larva during these times, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Nocturnal, sa gabi. Okay? Insect vectors include your Aedex, Culex, Mansonian, and your Anopheles. These are, anong classic insect yan? Mosquitoes. Diba? They are mosquitoes. Okay. So ano ba ang diagnostic stage? Ano sabi natin kanina? Diagnostic stage. Your microfilaria. So, kailangan, importante, lang natin i-identify ang microfilaria. Okay? So, wala na tayong adults, meron tayong microfilaria. Okay. Dami niyang parts, pero tatlo lang ang tatandaan natin para ma-identify. First is the cephalic space. This is the cephalic space. It is short. Okay, Wuchereria, short, cephalic space. The next na titingnan are the nuclei. The nuclei are well separated. Okay, the nuclei are well separated. And the last, titingnan natin si tail. Okay, the tail tapers to a point with no nuclei present. Okay, again, ano unang titingnan? Cephalic space, it is short. The nuclei in the body are well separated. And the tail will taper to a point with no nuclei. Okay. Again. Ano to? Hindi masyadong kita, pero meron yan. Ano siya? Hindi siya yung cephalic space. Ito yung sheath, di ba? Sheathed siya. Nasaan ang cephalic space? Ito. Di ba? Anong titingnan natin? Short, cephalic space. The nuclei are well separated. The tail will end, or the tip has no nuclei. Okay, so that is Wuchereria bancrofti. Diba? Madali lang ma-identify. Next, Brugia malayi. Okay, sheathed microfilaria, again in your peripheral blood, the same. Nocturnal periodicity, the same. Insect vector. Okay? Microfilaria, Brugia malayi. Anong unang titignan? Cephalic space. Long cephalic space. Okay, next. Nuclei, they appear crowded. Crowded, and the tail has two terminal nuclei. That is diagnostic. Okay, long cephalic space, crowded nuclei, two terminal nuclei, again, diagnostic. Okay? So, ayan. This is the sheath. This is the cephalic space. Long cephalic space, crowded nuclei, two terminal nuclei. Sometimes it is called your terminal nuclei and your sub-terminal nuclei. Okay? Last among the sheeted microfilaria will be your loa-loa. Common name is your eyeworm, causing the disease, Calabar fugitive swelling. Again, sheeted malaria in the peripheral blood. It has a diurnal periodicity. What do you mean by diurnal? The adult will lay its larva during the day. Okay, during the day. Okay? And the insect vector is your tabanid flies. Okay, microfilaria, loa-loa. Anong unang titingnan again? Cephalic space. It has a very small or no cephalic space at all. Next, nuclei. They are coarse and crowded, and the nuclei extends up to the tip. Okay? Description niya, para siyang punong-puno ng nuclei. Diba? Very little or no cephalic space, very crowded nuclei, and the nuclei extends up to the tip. Okay? Napakadaling i-differentiate yung tatlo. Diba? So, sa practical exam, madaling sagutin. Okay. These are the unsheated microfilaria. First will be your Onchocerca volvulus. Okay, convoluted filaria. That is the common name. Producing your onchocerciasis or your river blindness. So, unsheated microfilaria in the lymphatic fluids. Both your adults and microfilaria may be found in the skin and subcutaneous tissues where they can produce fibrous nodules. Okay, insect vectors are your black flies. Next will be your Manzanella ozarti. Again, unsheated in the peripheral blood. Adults can be found in body cavities and they are non-periodic, meaning they lay their microfilaria in the day or at night. So wala siyang pinipiling oras, non-periodic. Okay? So insect vector are your midges. Next, Manzanella pertans, unsheated microfilaria. Again, this is non-periodic. Adults can be found in the body cavities. Insect vectors are your midges. Okay? So, let's go to pathogenesis. So, tatandaan, the microfilaria do not cause pathology. Okay? The one that causes pathology are the adults. The adult worms causes damage and it will depend on its location. Diba sabi natin kanina, different species will have different areas of predilection. Okay? So for example, si pertans, diba? So adults can be found in the body cavities and subcutaneous tissue. So doon siya mag-produce na nodular swelling. Kung nasaan si adult worm. Okay. So sila loa-loa, nagmamigrate siya. Okay? So the adult migrating loa-loa can cause fugitive Calabar sweating. So there will be temporary migratory inflammation. Bakit temporary? Magmamigrate siya, di ba? So magkakaroon ka ng swelling in one area, magmamigrate siya, ilipat yung swelling sa ibang area. Okay? The swollen areas subside after a few days and they will appear again elsewhere. Okay? Sometimes this is called your bug eye, your bulge eye, or your bug eye. Okay? Because they can migrate to the eyes. Diba? Sa cornea. So that is your adult worm. Okay? Ito yung mga swelling. Pwedeng mag-swell dito. After a few days, this will subside. It will appear elsewhere in the body. Okay? Next, si volvulus. Nasa lymphatic channels in areas of body prominences, such as the scalp, scapula, and ribs. Okay? So doon sila mag-produce ng subcutaneous nodules, also known as your oncocercoma. Okay? So ito yung mga examples. Okay? Nasa scalp ng patient. This one, I think you are all familiar. Diba? Si Bancrofti and Rubia Malayi. They can be found in the lymphatic channels of the lower parts of the body, sa lower extremities. So this can lead to lymphatic obstruction. Magkakaroon ka ngayon ng lymphedema causing enlargement of the involved extremities, including the vulva and scrotum. Okay? We call this your elephantiasis. Okay? So these are examples, pictures of elephantiasis. Okay? So diagnosis, again, sabi natin kanina, you look for the microfilaria in blood films or fluid. You can do also biopsy. Pero pag biopsy of tissues or lymph nodes, you look for adult worms. Okay? First picture, adult or microfilaria? First picture. Microfilaria. Bakit microfilaria? RBC, divine background. So that is blood. This is your adult. Diba? Nasa muscle, fibers. For the treatment, the drug of choice is your DEC, your diethyl carbamazine. Okay? Last question. You have a patient with elephantiasis. You treat it with DEC. Magiging normal ba siya? Will this become normal? Hindi na. Okay? So, pwedeng wala ka ng infection, pero hindi na siya babalik sa body. Okay? So, any questions? Okay, so this ends your lecture for